Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode in 2026. We'll be talking about how the 2025 went and we'll discuss how the amount of time we spent and their productivity in terms of getting a publication or a product or patent, how our time invested in the job is proportional or not proportional to the productivity we are bringing in. If I look at the 2025 altogether at a year, I can say like majority of the time we I spent or anybody in a job they spend is mostly not on the real work that gives a visible output, but something like talking to people, meetings, and but when it comes to adding to CV or it comes to showing it to someone like what we actually did, then it is very difficult to justify the relationship between the time and the actual productivity we are having in the job. So in 2025, if I look at it, majority of the time, like about 30 to 40% of the time of any day went on talking to students, talking to faculties, talking to other people, attending meetings. And when it comes to the productivity, what I see is like we produced one PhD student, we have one product, and we have two papers published, but the amount of time given to those things which are visibly productive are not proportional. So I don't know how many people have read the book. I think people can see the book Deep Work. So if you have not read that, just get it and read, and you will realize how much time we spend on things which are not productive. Most of the time we are on internet, either on email, like sending replies, or just working like a node that is transmitting just information from one person to other, not really getting the things done. Some people might say, oh, these things are very important because you are acting as a mediator or doing something like getting together people and doing something. But yes, those are important, but when it comes to productivity, whether it is ranking or for any promotion, it is the numbers that count. It is not like how much time we spent on meetings or talking to people. They're completely irrelevant. So I recommend people reading this book, Deep Work, and realize how much time we really like spend on things which are or could have been spent in a better way to have some productivity. And most of us believe that the amount of time spent at a workplace is equal to productivity. Most of us. That is why we have all the things like from attendance to fingerprints to so, oh, we are there for this many hours we worked. But does that really matter? It's absolutely no. It doesn't matter. Like if you spend 10 hours and without any productivity, it's simply like waste of your time, and you are also wasting others' time and the resources of the uh, organization. So if you imagine I sit in the office just doing nothing and scrolling through the phone, like that I'm spending the time. No one can say, oh, I was out of office. I was in office, but I didn't do anything productive for myself or for the organization. So that is why it is important to realize that productivity is something different than the time we spend on something. In India, we mostly focus on the time. We always put, oh, this many work hours, people should be there in office for 8 hours or 8.5 hours, 10 hours, or some places they can increase the time depending on the need of the organization. And some places even weekends, people consider, oh, everyone should work in the weekend. Oh no, people can work in the weekend if they feel like. If they are motivated, they will anyway work in the weekend from home, from wherever they are. If they are not motivated, they are called to work on weekend, they will just waste the resources like AC, light, and everything, sitting in office doing absolutely no productive work. And that also affects their family life and everything else, and they run into burnout. And this is not a problem with only India or any specific country, it's a worldwide crisis. People feel burnout, like close to half of the workforce feel burnout. And there is a study that shows that the productivity is something that is related to the hours spent in the work. If it is close to 40 hours, that's the sweet spot where productivity is the most. If it is more than 40 hours, the productivity goes down. And this shows that like spending more hours at work doesn't really reflect productivity. And in case of India, like if we look at how much people work worldwide versus India, and then look at whether people are really happy or not, we are not in a very good place. And this is because, as I said, like we force people to work in the weekend. So how can we expect people to be happy and be productive? If they work in the weekend, then Monday will be another day for them. So they are not rejuvenated, they have not like taken proper rest to start the work fresh on Monday, so they cannot do that. So for that reason, India's rank is not that good. And if we look at the productivity per hour in India, it is far less than any developed countries. But we still focus on work hours, not the productivity. So ideally, it should be productivity based, and it should be milestone based, not hours. Like everyone should spend 8 hours. If somebody can do the job in 5 hours, let them go. Okay, it should not be like they are bound for 8 hours or they are bound for weekends. There is a very good correlation between the happiness and the work hours spent by the employee, and that found that the developed nation, the happiest nations, are not the one who force the people to work for more hours. Like you can say, the developed nations like Denmark, Finland, the work hours are less than 40 hours. It's not more than 40 hours. And also like the work hour also affects the creativity. So imagine you are working for 50 hours or 60 hours a week. That leads to a drop in creativity because you are doing something which you are very habituated to, so you are do not have time to think again and have more productive kind of creative activity in the job. So more hours, like more than 50 or 60 hours a week, leads to burnout. It simply doesn't go into more productive output from the employee. And also it affects like physical and mental health issues with the overwork they are burdened with. And this loss of creativity is a problem for everyone, for uh, uh, all organization, including research. And research is a field that needs creativity the most, because without creativity you will be just doing something which is has been done previously, or you are just doing some repetition kind of thing. So for that you need creativity, and that needs a proper work life balance and proper rest. And as I said, like more hours doesn't really go into more productivity. So what we can do, like in as we are in science, so scientific field needs more creativity, and that creativity comes from rest, reflection, and play. That leads to innovation. It is not that more work will create more products, more patents. No, it will not. it will simply create more redundant stuff that is not required. So if we need to innovate, it has to be creative, it has to be new, and that newness comes when people are given enough time to think and take rest. And the way we can uh, rejuvenate the culture is like have a cultural change, policy reforms, or changes with the monitoring system we are using for the job. Like most of the monitoring system, they give promotion based on the year, based on the time you spend. But ideally, that system need to change, and that should be a milestone based or productivity based. So that way, the organization as well as the person, they can proceed in a professional way, and it will be more productive for the organization at the end. And more importantly, as I said, the innovation needs more creativity, and that creativity comes when we give importance to quality, not the quantity of time spent on the job, like the quality of work done, or we quantify the productive outcomes of the job, not the time spent on the job. And innovation, as I said, definitely require rest, and regular breaks at work can have more long-term effect on having more productive and innovative things coming out of the organization. So what we all can do is like think about the time management. As I said, like read the deep work. It's not a sponsored video. I found the book very helpful in realizing how much time I specifically spend on things which are not productive, and then started realizing what I need to do. And this, I think everyone can do. One is the time management, and plan the day, plan the month, plan the year ahead. Otherwise, like we'll be drifting, and every other day, some other meeting will come, and we'll be just distracted from the actual work, and we'll be doing all the shallow work leading to no productive outcome at the end of the day. And if we do not see a quantitative outcome from any of the work, that is basically a shallow work we're doing, and that's absolutely is very dangerous for the person as well as for the organization, because we are not eventually creating anything new. So, and at the end, we all need to think that who will remember us and how. It is not that how much time we spent in meetings or how uh, good relations we had, but eventually the work matters. People may forget you as a person, but the work, the creations we have done in the life will stay, and they will be the real reflection of our productivity. Thanks everyone for watching this, and all the things I said is my personal opinion. And if you have a chance, you should buy this book and read it. So this will change the way you think you are working, and definitely it will give you some reflection on your time you are spending on a job and how productive you are. So that this is a book every worker should read, and every employer also should read this and ask the employees like how they are doing in terms of productivity, not in terms of how much time they are spending in the organization. Thank you.